Welcome to Radio 64. Welcome to Radio 64 Video Game Music Remix Radio. I'm your host, Eric Mickles, also known online as duskvstweak. Radio 64 is part of the Radio Meanwhile network. Visit radiomeanwhile.com for more information about this and other great podcasts. Find past episodes of Radio 64 on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And thank you to WRAQ 92.7 FM in Angelica, New York for hosting us every Monday at 6 p.m. What you just heard was called Wings of Freedom by Forest Elves, and that was a remix from Final Fantasy VIII, the original track being Blue Fields by Nobuo Uematsu. It's off of a new album by Forest Elves called Lionheart Volume 1, which you can find at forestelves.bandcamp.com. So check that out. Started out of the gate with our required Final Fantasy track of the episode. Final Fantasy VIII having a fantastic soundtrack. Such a strange game in the Final Fantasy line. I love it. I don't think I've ever been as gobsmacked by, one, an opening credits scene since Final Fantasy VIII, or just in general. I've been impressed with graphic sense, but I feel like the first time I saw Final Fantasy VIII in motion, in gameplay, in the boss fights, I was just like, what is this? What have I been playing at home? Because nothing I have looks this good. Final Fantasy VIII. It's a strange one, but I love it. And that music right there, it's that opening piano in this song, in Wings of Freedom. It sounds so good, but it's also a little bit off. Same thing with the vocals. Everything sounds great, but it comes out a little off kilter, which I don't know. It gives this otherworldly feel to it, which Final Fantasy VIII had throughout. Up next, we have from the game .hack Infection Part 1. And I know nothing about the hack games, about the .hack games. I think I know that they're JRPGs, and that's about it. I watched the first, 13 episodes of the anime, and that was it. I don't even think I finished the first season. 13 episodes, and I had no idea what was happening. It's like the proto Sword Art Online, isn't it? Just an online role-playing game gone wrong, right? I don't know. I don't even know enough to theorize. So let's just talk about this track. This came out actually on Christmas Day on OCR. It's called Stockings by the Fire by Ryan Davis Music. And it is remixing Our Town Zero from, again, .hack Infection, which was a PS2 game in 2002. Just not a game I ever played. I like this because even though it came out on Christmas Day and is called Stockings by the Fire, it doesn't necessarily feel like it is screaming Christmas, but it has this wonderfully Celtic folk sound, this acoustic sound, and it definitely sounds like you're by the fire, and maybe you're warming your socks, but I feel like you can just play this anytime during the winter season. So, Christmas might be over. We can still warm ourselves to this track. So this is called Stockings by the Fire by Ryan Davis Music from ocremix.org from the game .hack Infection Part 1. That was Stockings by the Fire by Ryan Davis Music from ocremix.org from the game .hack Infection Part 1. I remember being kind of annoyed with the anime because it seemed like nothing happened, 12 episodes, and then a lot happened on the episode 13, and then it was a cliffhanger, and I didn't have the next episodes. Maybe that was all season 1 was. Our next track is from Shenmue. Now, we've played a Shenmue track before, but Shenmue 3 is out at the moment, and who knows when there'll be a Shenmue 4. So might as well just take advantage of the fact that Shenmue is in the discourse as much as it is from the first Shenmue game. Actually, I have it. I didn't even realize I had Shenmue. I got it from Humble Bundle. It was one of the surprise things. I got the Spyro trilogy and the Crash Bandicoot trilogy that had just been remastered, and they threw in Shenmue 1 and 2 HD. I'll check them out sometime, I guess. They always look cool, but they also look like maybe games of their time, and not sure necessarily if I'll enjoy it today. This is a remix of the track Cherry Blossom Wind Dance from the first Shenmue, which came out in 1999 on the Dreamcast. This is called Amorelle by Radiowar, and Radiowar's main beats always feel a little bit more down-tempo, darker, without being depressing. I don't know, there's this element of darkness that holding back the light throughout the songs. There's still this very mellow vibe to this track, even though at times it also sounds a bit like a love song. It's the main beat, I think, doesn't allow those opening piano notes to fully take over. This is called Amorelle by Radiowar from ocremix.org from the game Shenmue. That was Amorelle by Radiowar from ocremix.org from the game Shenmue. I have to play those soon. I saw somebody playing Shenmue 3, and I just didn't understand what the point was. Talking, I guess? It's just a chatting game? I don't know. See, that I shouldn't talk about games I don't know anything of. So I played the original Super Mario Land on Game Boy when it came out. I got Tetris and Mario Land on the Game Boy from my parents. But I never followed the series, which means I never followed it as it became that crazy Wario Land games. So I feel like I kind of missed out because I hear a lot of good things about the Wario Land series. I remember being kind of weirded out by the first Super Mario Land. Like, I knew it was a Mario game, but it wasn't like the Mario games I knew. But Wario Lands, when I look at the graphics, I'm just like, this looks wacky. This looks kind of nuts. I gotta check this out. It's called Greedbuilt by Desert Catz. And it's from the album Super Cartography Brothers, which was a big Mario series spanning album released by Overclocked Remix. Like Wario himself, this track comes out aggressive. It's a heavy electronic sound. It's mean-spirited synth in there. It's just a bit strange and all over the place. But I actually found this song because I just put my Overclocked Remix playlist on shuffle, and this one just came up, and I was like, I hadn't heard this before. And it's just so crunchy and nasty. It just kind of stuck with me, so I decided it had to be on this episode. So this is Greedbuilt by Desert Catz from ocremix.org from the game Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. was Greedbuilt by Desert Catz from ocremix.org from the game Wario Land Super Mario Land 3. Definitely check out the album Super Cartography Brothers. The whole album is kind of this EDM take on the whole Mario series with a lot of really highly energetic tracks on there. Back on the NES, you have Bionic Commando, a Capcom game from 1988. I always thought Bionic Commando looked cool with his extendo arm, but I was never very good at the game. I never got very far in it myself. What was it, like 2013, they released an album on OCR called Bionic Commando Remixed. Okay, we'll groove. So this is called Enemy Underworld by Nutritious, and they're remixing Bionic Commando theme and Heatwave, which was by Harumi Fujita and Junko Tamaya. They've taken the original NES soundtrack and they've just turned it into this orchestral cinematic piece. Throughout this, it actually sounds a whole lot more like The Legend of Zelda to me, and especially some of the orchestral reimaginings of the Zelda series. I feel like I hear some of the Dark World theme in here, or the Temple theme from Zelda 2. So in that end, it definitely has that epic fantasy feel. And I mean, it's got a lot of brass, it's got a lot of string, it's got a bit of a choir in there. It never sounds heroic, but it always feels epic. So this is Enemy Underworld by Nutritious from ocremix.org from the game Bionic Commando. was Enemy Underworld by Nutritious from ocremix.org from the game Bionic Commando. Specifically from the album Bionic Commando Remixed. Okay, Will Groove. I don't think there was a lot of groove in that track, so maybe I did something. But from one Zelda sounding like game to Zelda itself, The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. And this is the one I actually picked too as a kid. I chose The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons over Oracle of Ages because I heard Seasons was more action-based and Ages was more puzzle-based. I was like, I think I know which way I want to go. And I also thought just the seasons changing was visually more interesting, especially on the Game Boy Color. What's being remixed here is Dancing Dragon Dungeon, which was originally by Minoko Adachi. And we have Brandon Strader, Chickenwarlord, Lemonectric, and Tuberz McGee are remixing this. And it's from, there's an album called Lime of the Season, which is a Zelda series album as well. A lot of album tracks here. It's called No Rain in the Desert. It opens with this Latin acoustic sound, which stays throughout the whole song, but then you also get the chip tune in there mixing around with the woodwinds, and it creates a really unique sound, but it's also always very Zelda, I feel like. Especially these Game Boy side quest. A lot like something that you would have found in Link's Awakening, the original Game Boy Zelda game. It's always kind of fascinating how you can do such different things with the game's source tune, how you can remix it. It somehow still honor not just the game that you're doing, but the series that's been before it all. So this is called No Rain in the Desert by Brandon Strader, Chickenwarlord, Lemonectric, and Tuberz McGee from ocremix.org from the game The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. That was No Rain in the Desert by Brennan Strader, Chickenwarlord, Lemonectric, and Tuberz McGee from ocremix.org from the game The Legend of Zelda Oracle Seasons. Virtua Fighter 2. The fighting game? No, I did play a Virtua Fighter. I played whatever one came out on the PS2 around like 2002. Maybe that was Virtua Fighter 4? No idea. But I didn't play Virtua Fighter 2 because it was on the Sega. And this track, it's one of those cheesy 80s pieces. To quote the Teen Titans Go to the Movies, this is an upbeat, inspirational song. You want to turn this all the way up and just start working through your montage until you're just a little bit better at the end. This is Juunen Hayaindayou, which I think I mispronounced, even though they say that right at the beginning of this song. I've listened to it on loop over and over, and I'm still pretty sure I mispronounced that. So this is Juunen Hayaindayou by WillRock from ocremix.org from the game Virtua Fighter 2. That was Juunen Hayaindayou by WillRock from ocremix.org from the game Virtua Fighter 2. Alright, so we have some original lyrics here in this hip-hop track called Protect Your Kingdom by Smooth for Life. And it's taking the dearly beloved track from Kingdom Hearts by Yoko Shinomura, a kind of repeating piano track from the first Kingdom Hearts. And you've just got some original lyrics here, which are all build to the repeating chorus, just protect your kingdom, protect your kingdom. The vocal work in this track isn't necessarily my favorite example of either vocal work, the remixes, or rapping an original remix either. But it's still pretty smooth. The lyrics, again, they're a bit inspirational, even though the whole track is kind of dark. Not as inspirational as that previous Virtua Fighter 2. Very impressive that they were able to take just a pretty repetitive original source, which was Dearly Beloved, and turn it into this lyric-based song. And it's a mellow track, but Smooth for Light is rapping pretty quickly throughout it. An impressive piece of music, I think. Protect Your Kingdom by Smooth for Life from ocremix.org from the game Kingdom Hearts.
See the kingdom in the sky, and the kingdom in your heart. You got the key to reach every dream, see you had it from the start. See you strong enough to beat every challenge, good enough to reach every palace. And with the team you can do anything, I mean everything within everything. Climbing every mountain, swimming every sea. Nobody can ever take the spot, it was made for you because you got a heart. If you got my back, I got yours, and through everything we'll break forward. See us running through every door, are you ready for what's in store? They will say that you'll never be filling you with dark energy. Enemies will eventually turn into a chain of memories. Those memories have a tendency to break every wall. Whether short or tall, that's your destiny. Every step is a path you take to your legacy. Here's the key to your destiny. Open doors like it's sesame. Even those without a heart still has a form of identity. Times might be helpless and dark without a doubt, but what's inside will never die, and you gotta try. Protect your kingdom. Protect your kingdom. Protect your kingdom. Protect your kingdom. Got friends in different places, with many different faces. And the more you meet along the way, is a team of many graces. Whether big or small, you got a king strong. Take down the one that controls them all. Take the fall, no, take my hand, I'll lift you up, I won't give up. Reach the highest mountain, never let them down. Help along the way, help you reach the crown. See, these memories include all of us, and these broken pieces we built the trust. Made it strong, made it last, making sure they don't become the past. They will say that you'll never be filling you with dark energy. Enemies will eventually turn into a chain of memories. That power comes from inside you, strong enough to fix anything. So anyone that says otherwise is a nobody, destroyed mentally. Here's the key to your destiny. Open doors like it's sesame. Even those without a heart still has a form of identity. Take the chance, live the dream, make a change, still believe, risk it all, go achieve, and most of all, protect your kingdom. Protect your kingdom. Protect your kingdom. Protect your kingdom.
That was Protect Your Kingdom by Smooth for Life from ocremix.org from the game Kingdom Hearts. I had actually been looking for more David Wise mixes because I'm a big fan of David Wise's music, specifically Donkey Kong Country, like everybody else. And I found this one, which is by Platonist. This is from a game I had never heard of back on the NES called Solar Jetman, Hunt for the Golden Warship. It's called Diamond Worlds. And as I said, it's remixing a David Wise track, which had come out in 1990 on the NES. And while the main beat is very bouncy, once the synthesizer gets in there, worn out dub sound, it feels like it could be a bouncy, happy song, but the synth is just a little bit grungier, keeping it down a bit, which is a style of music that I really dig. Platonist has some just really great dark pieces. Yeah, nothing to say about Solar Jetman, plenty to say about David Wise. The man's an atmospheric genius. This is Diamond Worlds by Platonist, from ocremix.org, from the game Solar Jetman. Hunt for the Golden Warship! That was Diamond World by Platonist from ocremix.org from the game Solar Jetman Hunt for the Golden Warship. That last minute of the song, too, it just has so much energy. We have a Halo mix here. This is from the first Halo, Combat Evolved, which I played a whole bunch of on the original Xbox with a friend. We went through the co-op from beginning to end and had a great time. And then I ended up playing the first game on PC because they had released it there, and I was able to get myself a copy. And I played through the whole campaign again by myself, and I just loved every minute of it. I played a bunch of multiplayer with different groups of friends throughout. It was just ubiquitous. It was basically the replacement for GoldenEye 64. So this is the main Halo theme, which was by Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore. And Freemind and GrayLightning here have taken it and stretched it out a bit and kind of turned it into a orchestral Celtic mix. But there's a lot of clashes going throughout here. Throughout it all, you can still hear the main Halo theme. A little bit less of that Gregorian chant that is so recognizable from the series, but the main buildup of the Halo theme is there. This is called Mahabharath Highlands by Freemind, GrayLightning from ocremix.org from the game Halo Combat Evolved. That was Mahabharath Highlands by Freemind and GrayLightning from ocremix.org from the game Halo Combat Evolved. And I think there's a lot of style in there from India as well. That was the last song of the show. Thank you for listening to Radio64 Video Game Music Remix Radio. I've been your host, Eric Mickles, also known online as duskvstweak. Again, Radio64 is part of the Radio Meanwhile network. Visit radiomeanwhile.com for more information about this and other great podcasts. You can find past episodes of Radio 64 on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And thank you to WRAQ 92.7 FM in Angelica, New York for hosting us every Monday at 6 p.m. See you next time.